Every single morning, you wake up with an unspoken promise to yourself. You stare at the ceiling in the quiet of the dawn, and you tell your mind that today is the day everything changes. Today is the day you will finally execute that project. Today you will fix your broken routine, claim your sovereign focus, and become the man you know you are capable of becoming. But then, the world wakes up. The digital noise floods in through the glass screen in your hand. You step away from your morning routine, sit at your desk with all the right intentions, and try to lock into your objective. You open a tab, you look at the raw work, and a strange, heavy paralysis settles deep into your chest. Your mind immediately begins searching for an exit. A quick check of a notification, a mindless scroll through a feed, a sudden fake need to organize your desk or check an email. You tell yourself you are just warming up. You promise your conscience that you will lock in right after this one distraction. And just like that, the trap snaps shut. The hours do not just pass, they bleed away. They vanish into the ether, leaving behind nothing but a hollow, sickening sense of guilt as the sun sets. By evening, your energy is completely spent, yet your notebook is completely empty. You are exhausted, not from the dignity of hard labor, but from the crushing psychic weight of your own avoidance. You lie in bed, carrying the exact same heavy burden of unexecuted potential that you woke up with, promising a tomorrow that you secretly know is a lie. If you are trapped in this exhausting loop, if you feel like your life is being actively stolen from you by 1,000 shallow modern addictions, listen to these words very carefully. This is not soft motivational garbage. This is not a list of shallow productivity hacks or corporate time management tricks. This is a cold, brutal, and clinical intervention for your focus, extracted directly from the bloody trenches of ancient history. The ancient masters did not study philosophy in air-conditioned comfort. They tested these rules while governing collapsing empires, fighting frontline wars in the freezing mud, and facing literal executions. They knew that procrastination is not a minor character flaw. It is not an issue of bad scheduling or a lack of time. Procrastination is an explicit act of internal cowardice. It is your primitive brain actively running away from the temporary discomfort of execution. What follows are 7 unyielding, deeply detailed laws engineered to completely destroy your resistance and force your mind into absolute submission. Treat these words as rigid engineering blueprints for your daily survival, not as casual entertainment. Let the weight of each silence settle into your mind before you move. The first habit to kill your procrastination instantly is the immediate, ruthless execution of your absolute heaviest task. Think deeply about your current daily framework right now. There is one specific task sitting on your schedule that makes your stomach instantly tighten the moment it crosses your mind. It is the heavy confrontation you need to have, the complex technical document you need to build, the stark, terrifying review of your failing finances, or the grueling physical exertion you keep pushing to next week. Your default programming tells you to wait. You tell your mind that it is smarter to handle the small, easy tasks first, just to clear the path. You answer the easy emails, you file the trivial paperwork, you organize your files. You call this productivity. It is a lie. It is nothing more than sophisticated procrastination wearing the respectable mask of busyness. You are spending your highest morning energy capital on shallow nonsense, while the monster in the corner grows heavier and darker with every passing minute. By the time you finally turn your face toward the real work in the afternoon, your willpower is completely bankrupt. Your decision-making capacity is drained. You look at the heavy task and your mind instantly folds. You push it to tomorrow, and the cycle repeats. Marcus Aurelius, standing in the freezing winter camps along the Danubian frontier, carrying the weight of an entire global empire on his back, wrote a strict, unyielding command to his own soul during his private midnight meditations. He said, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman and a man on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness, tenderly, willingly, and with justice, and free yourself from all other distractions." Consider the profound gravity of that mindset. The emperor of the Western world did not wait for the perfect mood to govern. He did not wait for the internal resistance to fade. He understood that the resistance would never fade on its own. The micro-habit you must implement tomorrow morning, the absolute law of your new empire, is the rule of absolute zero negotiation. The exact second your feet touch the cold floor, before you open a single digital notification, before you check an email, and before your brain has the time to formulate a single comfortable excuse, you must step directly into the arena and attack the heaviest task first. You do not think about it. You do not analyze how you feel. You simply pick up the tools and you force your hands to move. When you crush the heaviest obstacle in the first hour of the day, an incredible psychological shift occurs. The remaining hours of your day become entirely weightless. You move through the afternoon with the absolute confidence of a conqueror, because the worst has already been faced, and it has been utterly destroyed by your own hand. The second habit you must forge immediately is the absolute separation of your physical actions from your fleeting emotional states. Look at how you lived your life over the past 7 days. You woke up on Tuesday, felt a slight chill in the air or a heavy fatigue in your bones, and decided that today was a recovery day. You woke up on Thursday, felt a sudden burst of random inspiration after watching a video, and worked furiously for 4 hours. You are operating like an absolute child. You are letting the chemical weather inside your skull dictate whether or not you build your empire. This is the definition of a fragile existence. A modern amateur only executes when he feels motivated, when the conditions are warm, and when the praise is guaranteed. A sovereign man executes simply because his internal standards demand it, entirely detached from whether he is happy, sad, tired, or terrified. Epictetus, who spent his youth in actual iron chains as a literal slave before teaching the elite of Rome, understood this with absolute clarity. He taught his students that true internal freedom only begins when you draw a hard line between what rests entirely within your control and what lies completely outside of it. Your emotions, the random hormones surging through your nervous system when you wake up, are completely outside of your direct control. But your physical hands, your ability to sit in the chair and type, your capacity to pick up the weight, rests entirely within your domain. The micro-habit you must implement to break this emotional dependency is the rule of the 300-second line. When you sit at your desk and the heavy voice of resistance whispers that you should wait until you feel better, do not argue with the voice. Do not try to psych yourself up with fake positivity. Calmly accept that you feel completely miserable and then tell your mind that you are only going to work for exactly 5 minutes. 5 minutes of raw, ugly, and imperfect execution. Anyone can endure 5 minutes of discomfort. You open the file, you set a timer, and you force your fingers onto the keys. What happens next is a profound psychological miracle. The moment your body enters physical motion, the mental friction begins to melt away. The heavy fog lifts, momentum takes the wheel, and the primitive brain realizes that the task was never going to kill you in the first place. You do not need to feel good to start working. You must start working so that you can eventually feel good. Detach your hands from your heart and lock your execution into a machine-like routine. The third habit you must master ruthlessly is the aggressive fasting of your immediate environment. Look at the workspace where you claim you are trying to build a legendary life. Your smartphone is sitting exactly 3 inches away from your mousepad, its screen flashing with low-value notifications from people who do not care about your future. You have 17 different entertainment tabs open on your browser background. A cup of half-eaten food is sitting in the corner, and comfort is completely accessible within a single microsecond of effort. You are setting an absolute trap for your own focus, and then you wonder why your willpower collapses after 20 minutes of work. Willpower is a highly limited capital resource. Every single time your eye catches that flashing phone screen, your brain has to expend a tiny piece of its daily energy to say no to the distraction. By the time you have successfully ignored your phone 50 times in a morning, your mental reservoir is completely dry. The next time friction hits your work, your brain will instantly choose the easiest escape route available in the room. Seneca, managing the vast finances of an entire global territory while surrounded by the extreme luxury of the imperial court, wrote a terrifying warning about the nature of comfort. He stated that luxury is a predatory loan that breaks a man's structural resilience, making him a complete slave to his surroundings. The micro-habit you must execute before you start your next work block is absolute environmental clearance. You must run a cold, minimalist audit on your desk. Put your smartphone inside a drawer in a completely separate room, out of sight and out of reach. Use a browser extension to completely block every single non-essential website. Clear the clutter off your table until there is nothing left in front of your eyes except your raw tools and your blank canvas. Force your mind into a corner where its only 2 options are deep execution or absolute, mind-numbing boredom. When you make distraction physically difficult to access, your brain will naturally choose to channel its remaining current into the only open channel left available, the work that actually matters. The 4th habit required to destroy procrastination is the strict enforcement of total radio silence regarding your goals. We live in a bizarre culture where individuals feel an intense need to broadcast every minor intention to the public square before they have even done a single minute of work. You tell your friends at dinner that you are finally launching a business. You post a picture of your laptop on a social feed with a caption about the upcoming grind. You tell your family about the grand project you are planning for next month. When you do this, you are committing an act of absolute strategic self-sabotage. Human psychology is highly vulnerable to a phenomenon known as identity substitution. When you announce your grand targets to an audience and they reply with polite applause and praise, your brain receives a massive, unearned surge of dopamine. The primitive mind cannot distinguish between the social credit of talking about a goal and the actual physical reward of achieving it. It mistakes the conversation for the execution. The moment you return to your quiet desk, the intense hunger required to push through the heavy friction of the work is completely gone. You have already tasted the sweet validation of victory without ever stepping foot into the arena. The micro-habit you must adopt right now is the law of the deep dark. You must quietly prune away the need for unearned applause. When a magnificent project or an aggressive strategy forms inside your mind, keep it completely buried within your own chest. Do not tell your partner, do not tell your friends, and do not give the digital gallery a single clue about your trajectory. Work heavily in the shadows. Sharpen your blade in absolute secrecy. Let your isolation be so complete that the world assumes you are completely stagnant. And then let your realized, unyielding physical results strike the room like a sudden lightning bolt when they least expect the impact. Silence is the fuel of true execution. The 5th habit to lock into your daily framework is the immediate optimization of raw momentum over the illusion of perfectionism. Think about how many hours you squandered this month under the respectable label of refining your work. You spent 3 hours tweaking a color scheme on a presentation. You spent a week rewriting the exact same introductory paragraph over and over again. You tell your conscience that you are doing this because your standards are incredibly high, because you are a perfectionist who refuses to put out low-quality material. This is an absolute lie. Perfectionism is nothing more than sophisticated fear wearing an academic suit. It is your ego actively hiding from the judgment of the public square. As long as the project remains unfinished, as long as it stays safe inside your private editing drawer, it can never be critiqued, it can never be rejected, and it can never fail. The moment you declare it finished and push it into the light, your name is exposed to the arena. To dodge that terrifying threshold of vulnerability, you generate endless, circular loops of micro-editing. You are burning your life away on details that do not move the needle, simply because you are afraid to find out if your best is good enough. Chrysippus, who built entire systems of logic out of raw thought and became the most prolific writer of the ancient world, taught that an extraordinary life is judged by its final structural resolution, not by the endless duration of its preparation. A flawed draft pushed into the arena can be optimized, can be scaled, and can be corrected based on real-world data. An unreleased masterpiece sitting in a dark drawer accomplishes absolutely nothing but the quiet rot of its creator's potential. The micro-habit for tomorrow is the rule of the imperfect launch. Force yourself to complete the first draft with zero self-editing. Put the raw skeleton together as fast as humanly possible. Stop trying to make it perfect in the safety of your mind. Put the vehicle in motion and adjust your steering wheel while you are moving down the highway at full speed. The sixth habit you must implement with absolute coldness is the systemic pruning of your immediate social circle. Look closely at the individuals who occupy your daily workspace and your evening hours. If you are surrounded by people who constantly complain about their local circumstances, individual minds who find their primary comfort in cheap vices, and fragile peers who subtly mock your ambition to lift your standards, you are actively consuming a lethal psychological poison every single day. Human behavior is deeply mimetic. We unconsciously mirror the habits, the vocabulary, and the discipline levels of the 5 closest people we allow past our borders. Laziness, procrastination, and a victim mindset are not just personality traits. They are highly contagious emotional diseases that rot your internal resilience from the inside out. You cannot expect to build an extraordinary, unyielding trajectory if your closest advisors are entirely dedicated to ordinary comfort and casual destruction. The ancient masters chose absolute, crushing isolation over compromising the borders of their citadel for cheap companionship. It is far more dignified to walk alone in the dark, to dine at an empty table, and to spend your weekends in complete silence than to sit in a room full of individuals who secretly pray for your mediocrity so they don't feel bad about their own failure. The micro-habit here is the clean cut. You do not need to stage a grand, dramatic confrontation. You do not need to deliver a long lecture about your new lifestyle. Simply fade into your private laboratory permanently. Politely decline the low-value gatherings. Turn down the fragile conversations and let the silence do all the work for you. Reclaim your environment for execution and let the crowd talk to the wind. The seventh and final habit, the ultimate anchor that will permanently destroy your procrastination, is running your daily life under the active, constant shadow of your own mortality. Procrastination only exists because you childishly assume that time is an infinite resource. You wake up at 25 or 35, and you treat your days as if you hold a signed, legally binding contract from nature guaranteeing you another 50 years of pristine health, sharp focus, and perfect energy. You tell your mind that you will fix your finances next year, build your body next season, and claim your destiny after this immediate comfort passes. It is a terrifying delusion. Tomorrow is a privilege that nature owes to absolutely no one. Every single second you spend scrolling mindlessly through a digital screen or lounging on a couch, your personal clock is ticking down with absolute certainty. Those hours are not paused, they are permanently gone, deducted from the finite total you were granted when you entered this earth. Marcus Aurelius, commanding massive legions of armies while watching his own physical body deteriorate from illness, wrote a strict rule to hold his mind together. Let each thing you do, say, or intend be like that of a dying person. Memento mori. This is not a philosophy of sadness or depression. It is the ultimate tool of supreme clarity and explosive urgency. When you live with the profound awareness that this current hour might be the final act of your movie, all the trivial anxieties of the modern square dissolve into complete nothingness. The fear of judgment disappears. The urge to seek cheap convenience evaporates. The hesitation to execute vanishes instantly. The micro-habit to lock this into your flesh is the evening audit. Before you close your eyes tonight, look at your empty hands and ask your soul honestly, if this current day was the absolute final scene of my existence, would it resolve into a legacy worth having lived? What was the exact distraction that stole your focus today? Write it down, isolate it, and target it with an iron fist tomorrow morning. Rise up, stand firm on your principles, and execute now. Stand alone, think alone, and conquer alone.